I see people suffering and I'm like, man, it doesn't need to be like, everything's on the side of a few questions to the right people. Like it really is.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have instances of like, you meet somebody and you're like,
Rocking and rolling right now with the Building the Vision podcast. Want to intro everybody here, including my friend Ryan Charterina. So I want to welcome everybody to another episode. This is a podcast where I sit down with real life visionaries, such as my buddy over here, and empower them to share their journeys, lessons, and breakthroughs that have shaped who they are. Today, I have the honor of sitting down with Ryan Charterina, husband, soon to be father of two, let's go, CBA graduate, former electrical manufacturer, business owner, and true visionary. He's now an EOS implementer, outgrow advisor, helping entrepreneurs and leadership teams get clarity, build structure, and scale their businesses. What's going on, Ryan?
what an intro.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
You're big time, man.
Yeah.
Look where you are. Holy crap.
Big time in gonna have a second kid in a month.
Wow.
Yeah.
How's that process been from kid one to kid two?
Dude, I don't know. I had buddies like Bart and other people like, they're like, it's an adjustment. And I was like, oh, all right, whatever. And then we have the first, I'm like, oh my.
Oh, yeah.
Your time just gets like compressed. And it's really cool because you get to do the things that you only want to do rather than, there's so many options, when you're single and things like that. But, having a kid really forces you to like really look at your life and say like, what do I really want to spend my time on?
Yeah.
And, building a family is awesome. It's so fun.
I remember us talking about that and Bart mentioning to you, he's like, is there a level of preparation that you can have for it?
No. There's no, like, it's like one of those things where you jump in and you're like, oh, wow. Because, like the sleepless nights and the unknowns, this is a human life that you're now responsible for. It's a whole different level of responsibility. So fun though. Like it's like the hardest thing you'll ever do and also the most fun. Like being a parent. And we're only like 17 months into it. So, there's probably a few other journeys we're going to be on over the course of the next, lifetime of my kids, but it's so fun.
Oh yeah. It's kind of like how we say is you're like building the boat while on the journey, right?
100%. But it's like, it's the other thing, you get to shape your kid however you want. And huge kudos to my mom. Like I had no idea. Like when we first had Dean, I called my mom and I was like, I'm so grateful for you. I didn't understand all the things you did, the time and energy and effort it took, to like, create me and my sister and, make sure we had everything we needed in life. So like, I mean, call your moms, everyone.
Okay.
They're superhuman.
Yeah, the level of appreciation you get from going through it and actually experiencing it versus just seeing it from the outside or thinking you understand it. It's a whole different ballgame, right?
You can't even, there's no description. It's like the mother energy is none other. I mean, it's mind blowing. It really is.
Yeah. And let's go back to that. Let's touch base on that a little bit. Talk about where you grew up, how you grew up, family life, things of that nature. Cause I'm sure that has a lot to do with who you are today.
I love that question. I mean, I'm a huge, like my mom, everyone loves their parents. My mom pushed me hard, like real hard, kept me around people that, were going to make me successful. And, looking back on it, I didn't understand it as much, but now that I'm a parent, I'm like, I want my kid to be surrounded by people who are going to elevate him and, her, when she's born. But, growing up, my dad was a truck driver. Like we didn't grow up with much, but every single dollar, every single hour of time was devoted to us.
Yeah. Invested in you. I love that.
Everything. And it's cool to see that. And now they're starting, which is really cool for them. They're like, wow.
Seeing the fruits of their labor.
It paid off. And what's even more cool is, I can give back to them and, they don't have to work. My dad's retired. I'd like to retire my mom because like they poured everything.
Oh yeah.
My dad's working 80, 90 hour weeks, like, just busting himself, hour commute every day. Like it was a lot.
Yeah. It's funny you say that because we relate to that a lot, especially the part where you said that every investment, every energy, everybody that was around you was people that are like-minded or people your parents wanted to be around you. From our experience, our parents are Brazilian, so we're first generation Americans, right? So we grew up around a lot of Brazilian people, a lot of our friends' parents. And one thing that I thought at least, was like, every Brazilian is Christian. Because everybody who my mom was friends with was Christian, and she was Brazilian. So to me, it was like normal, like to speak about faith, to be in that environment. That's all I knew, and that's all that was like my concept of Brazilian people and my mom's friends and all that, which is interesting. One thing I wanted to ask you about, going back to your early experience in your life, was what is like one impactful situation or event that happened that really kind of like set the trajectory for your life where it is today? I know you've told a couple stories to me before.
Dude, there's one that the second you even say that, it stands out. So I went to St. Dominic's. This is in Brick, New Jersey. Early on, my parents were like, I want to put you in a place where, you're going to be challenged. And so they put me there. And then, 7th, 8th grade comes around, now we're like, well, what do we do for high school? Like the higher education schools are expensive. You can't will our way into that. They can work only so hard. My dad can only work so much overtime. So he's capped.
Yeah.
And so, 7th, 8th grade comes around. One of my teachers says, hey, we're nominating people for a CBA scholarship. I was like, cool. And she nominated me. I was like, wow.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. And so, I didn't know much about CBA at that time. I thought I was going to Brick Memorial. So I went through the process. Really cool story. And I don't tell many people this, but went to the interview. My dad couldn't go. And
was he working?
Yeah. And so a big point of this was like, where's your dad? Where's your husband? Like, he didn't come to the interview with CBA. And my mom's like, he has to work. Like, we can't afford him not to work.
Yeah.
And they were like, this is a big moment. So I ended up not getting the scholarship. I was like, wow, that's tough. My mom called. I didn't know this for years later. My mom called and she's like, Ryan needs this. Like, he deserves it. She basically begged, called the brothers, and the brothers made it happen.
Wow.
And they found money for me to go attend CBA. Like, that, by far, not even close. That was the moment.
Let's go.
Because like, I didn't know what that, I didn't even know anybody in that environment. I mean, the CBA culture community is like ultra high net worth people who are high achievers. And I didn't know many people like that. Yeah. And I'm not sure about you, like growing up, you kind of see people like that and you're like, oh, okay. But when you're surrounded by people like that, like, it goes back to what the very beginning of this is, like, you're a product of your environment.
Yeah.
If you put yourself in that environment, you're going to become a product of it.
Oh yeah.
And that's where it started. That's where all this started.
Speaking of that environment, how do you feel like it led you to get on the trajectory that you are on today? What about that environment of people, those high achievers, really kind of like sets the pace for you, somebody like you?
I was so naturally curious. So, naturally, I'm a swimmer. So I went to, pasta parties at kids' houses and their parents' houses, and we show up.
Oh yeah.
We show up and I'm like,
you're like, whoa,
what does your dad do? Like, what do you guys do? Like, oh, he runs his own business. Oh, he runs, like, you keep hearing common themes. Most people wouldn't really think anything of that. But me, I'm like,
you from a small town,
dude, give me that. I want that. And so, you just keep asking questions. And, this is the thing that frustrates me about, I want everyone to have that. That's why I do what I do now. Like, everyone can have that. Everyone. I firmly believe that. It's just on the other side of just asking questions. Like, yeah. Dude, I would love, if somebody came to me and asked me questions about like this stuff, dude, I want to help you do that. Like,
yeah, you want to share and you want to pour into other people and give back, right?
But like, I can't, and this is something I struggle with. I can't want it for someone else. They have to want it for themselves. Yeah. And it's really hard. Because you can try to force someone to want something, and we've talked about this, but if they don't want it, it's like, oh, I want it for you though.
Yeah, you can't give them their why, right? Yeah, and that why is ultimately what drives people to want to do all that stuff or go after whatever they want out of life. Yeah, but not everybody has that deep enough why.
Yeah. Which, it's hard because I see people, I see whether it's business owners, people, employees, like I see people suffering and I'm like, man, it doesn't need to be like, everything's on the side of a few questions to the right people. Like it really is.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have instances of like, you meet somebody and you're like, if I didn't ask that question, that wouldn't have led to this. Yeah. Like same thing with me and CBA. Like if I didn't go to CBA, I probably wouldn't have went to Stevens. I wouldn't have gotten to mechanical engineering. Like just the chain of events is so fascinating, but I think it's the questions you ask and the curiosity around like I want that.
Yeah.
Like, why can't I get that?
How do I get, and then taking the next step, how do I get that?
Yeah.
And then,
but it's not like it's not that complicated. Like it's hard. It's for sure hard, but everything's hard.
Yeah.
So it's
pick your hard.
Yeah. That's one of our like personal core values with me and my wife, and something we want to instill into Dean and Callie, which will be our daughter's name. You choose your hard. Like it's going to be hard today or hard later. Yeah. When do you want it? So, it's why not just do it now?
Yeah.
Just do the hard thing now so it's easier later.
Yeah. There's that mantra, easy choices, hard life.
Yep.
Hard choices, easy life.
Yep.
Right. But it is what it is. You choose your heart.
Choose your heart.
Yeah. Where you're at today, Ryan, how do you balance between being a father, a husband, and a business leader? Because you're doing all three, right? And I always say this to our clients when I meet them. I'm like, oh man, you're super successful. You're obviously a great husband, father of 2, 3, 4 kids. How do you do it, man? Like, how can you possibly do it? I know me as a single 27-year-old, no kids, no girlfriend, nothing like that. I barely have time. Yeah. How do you make more time? Do you have more than 24 hours? Like, how does that work?
You just add time to the clock. It's really easy. It gets to midnight and then you wind it back. And you're like, oh, nice, I have more hours. I think going back to the very beginning, it's just like you only have so much time. My vision of things is you almost can't do anything. Like there's not enough hours in the day to do even the littlest thing. So like little examples of this would be, we don't do anything with cooking. We don't cook our own food. We go to that company called Fit Food. So that takes out, how many hours of meal prep, cooking, all that stuff, washing dishes, everything gone. I don't do my own laundry. I send it out, it comes back. There's little things like that. I don't do my own landscaping, like things like that where I'm like, if I look at my ideal life, is it really mowing my lawn? Like, is that in my picture of my ideal life? No. I want to be able to play volleyball. So it's really focusing on what you want and going at it. That's it for me. And there's things in life where we can't get to it all. But I really want to set like what do I want? Who do I want to be spending my time with? And that's what I'm going for. I want to be playing volleyball. I want to work out. I want to spend time with my wife. I want to be able to be around my son, my daughter. I want to spend time with my parents, my close family. Like that's what I want. And anything that isn't that, I can't do.
Yeah.
It's hard.
That sounds like something that a lot of people would want and everybody wants. So you named a lot of great things, and along with those great things that you want, a lot of things that you don't like to do or that you don't want to do. But those things that you mentioned you don't do, they take time, energy, and money to do, right? But you choose to leverage 2 of the other resources versus that third one, which is your time to actually do it. How would you say to somebody who wants to kind of like delegate those or leverage that, and they say, hey, like I don't have the money to do that. Like, what do I do? Like, I don't want to cook either, or I don't want to do my laundry either. But so what do I do, Ryan?
I'll tell you what I did like really early on. I saved every single dollar, everything I possibly could. I was extremely frugal, and I would save so that I could then be able to spend my money on time-saving activities that I would get my time back. Because if you don't have that, again, I'm talking to a whole bunch of different people here. So I'm going to start with like a business owner. So for a business owner, it's a roadmap. It's one thing at a time. You can't just delegate it all at once. What's the low-hanging fruit? Next 90 days, what's coming off the plate? I would argue that you can't afford not to.
Yeah.
Because we've had great discussions about this. Some people's visions don't allow for that though. So if you don't have a big enough vision, it's not going to be as clear that you need to delegate something.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. But can you speak more on that? So if somebody has a bigger vision, how will that allow them to kind of get clear on what they're supposed to be doing and not supposed to be doing? Give me an example.
So say you're at 2 or 3 million in revenue and you want to get to 20. Are you going to be able to do your bookkeeping to get to 20?
No.
And you just keep going down your list of the things you're currently doing. But there's a lot of things that pop up here. So like, can someone do it as good as me? Do I trust that person? Can I afford it? There's a lot of these little different things that all go to what's holding you back.
Yeah.
That's it.
And how does somebody come to actually put that type of structure together? Like there's businesses, small businesses that do under $1 million. There's businesses that do 10 million. There's even businesses that do 50 million. How can somebody even fathom, if you're a small business owner out there doing $1 million, they can't even fathom or see themselves being a $10 million business owner. They're like, hey, I'm doing so much right now. I don't really have 100% control of everything. I'm already working 60, 70 hours a week. Like, I don't know how they did it, but they did it. Like, what do you tell that business owner? How do you get them set up?
I mean, for anyone here that has not read the book Traction, please do yourself a favor and go read that book. There is a way. It's not like there's not a way. So for people who are at the 2 million mark, the 1 million mark, the 5, it doesn't matter where you are. And I was thinking about this on the way over here. There's people who have great months and they're like, man, things are great. Next month sucks. Then the next month's great. Then the next month sucks. And it's just a ping pong thing. And the root of that issue is you don't have a system. You don't really have a system to run your business. Because if you have a system, you're constantly going the same way consistently. And there's not these massive peaks and valleys. You need a system. And if you don't have that system, like, please read the book Traction. It lays everything out. The guy, he's had it for over 15 to 20 years and been implementing it for 15 to 20 years. It's proven.
And what does that book, if you just summarize, what is that book Traction? What does it speak about? What does it do for businesses?
It helps, and I'd love to hear your perspective on this, but it helps business owners get what they want from their business. Mm. So if they have a want, they have a desire, they have a place they want to go, it just helps you get there.
Helps you get clearer on it, right? And
where am I going? I don't know. Am I going to 10 million, 20 million, 80 million, 500 million, 1 million? I don't know. Nobody ever asked me that. I heard that recently. Never thought about that. Like, well, here we go. Let's think about it now. There is a way. Like, it's not that you're out of control of your business. There is a way to be in full control of your business, or at least 80% of the way there.
Yeah.
So, but I'd like to hear your perspective on this topic, because I think you have a lot of good insights to share.
Yeah. For us, you have to know when a change has to be made, and you got to kind of self-analyze and know that something isn't working right before you come to the conclusion. I think you always told us that you won't make a change until the pain is big enough, that pain threshold is hit for you to actually want to make the change, right? So for us, it was actually the relationship with me and my brothers. We were in business together for I think a year or two, and business was growing, but we hated each other more than ever, right? Because we didn't know what we were doing in the business. We didn't know what was going on. We didn't know who was supposed to be doing what, all that stuff. And luckily we got connected with Sensei Joe Hughes out of Contractor Dynamics. Love him to death. And through the masterminds that we were in with him, we started hearing about EOS, which is, for those who don't know, the Entrepreneurial Operating System. The Entrepreneurial Operating System basically is a infrastructure for your business that helps you get super clear on roles, responsibilities, the vision, where you want to go, KPIs, things of that nature, so that you guys can, as a team, start tackling obstacles together and get clear on the vision and get everybody rowing in the right direction. Once we started hearing that type of stuff, like all that language, it's like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like, I would love to have that. We don't have that. We don't have this. So it's like, all right, like, how do we do it? And for us, the first step was just being around people that were implementing already and hearing their success stories and knowing that, hey, if I want to get where they are, I got to do what they do, right? So In that mastermind, there are several people already implementing it or starting to implement it. So we were always watching from, a little distance. But then the real changing point for us was when I actually went out to an event in Long Branch where EOS implementers such as yourself, you along with a couple of other guys, you guys were speaking on EOS and about how it affects businesses and things of that nature. And then when I heard you speak and I saw the other guys and then we connected afterwards, I was like, yeah, this is something that we need and we can't really wait for. The only problem at that point is the money crunch, right? It's like, all right, how much of an investment is this? When do we start getting the returns, et cetera? And when you're making that type of investment, what you really have to be considering more than like how much you technically think you could afford is like the losses of not doing it now. Like how much do you lose not implementing this now?
I love this topic.
Right?
I would love to talk more about this, like because I think it's something that people don't. It's like when you pay for bookkeeping, when you pay for payroll, when you pay for marketing, when you pay for all these things, it's like, okay, I see that money coming out. What you don't see is that. You don't see the cost of like, if I don't make this change, there's probably $1 million in revenue on the line by me not doing anything different.
Yeah.
Like, hey, if this thing changed, we could do $1 million more in revenue. Okay. What's the cost to do that change?
$100K.
Okay. Would you make $100K change to get $1 million in revenue? And they're like, oh,
yeah.
But like that is like, and I've learned that from my coach, from mentors, because it's not a simple thing to just, kind of put the pieces of the puzzle together. But that opportunity cost is huge.
Oh yeah.
Huge.
Oh yeah.
Do you have any thoughts on that or any comments? Because I think this topic is widely under talked about.
No, it makes a lot of sense. Like the lost opportunity cost of doing something or not doing it, it's massive because like you just said, if there's an opportunity for you to acquire $1 million in revenue in your business by investing $100K, why would you not do that? I guess the only hurdle that people face is fear, right? Like, I don't know if it's actually going to get me.
Will it work?
Will it work? Will it actually get me the $1 million in revenue or not? And if you get clear on what it's supposed to do and how the return is actually supposed to come to you, it kind of makes it a no-brainer. And once you see it happen, I think for entrepreneurs, a lot of us, we have to hit our face against the wall like 1 million times before we do things. But the smarter ones, they'll just see it happen once or twice, or the most intelligent ones, the best guys, they'll just see other people go through and they'll be like, oh yeah, I'll do that. And they'll implement it, right? For me, I've had to see it happen once or twice to be like, all right, this makes a lot of sense. Like, let's make this happen faster. And that's something that we've been talking about with our business as well, is getting better at predicting, right? Because we're growing a lot and things are going great, but something we have to get better at, and specifically me as a visionary, is predicting sooner. You want to talk about that, how you've been coaching us on that? Because that's not easy.
It's such a non-human thing to be good at. Like if you're a normal human being, you just want to react. That's what most of us want to do. The most successful people in the world, like, my coach, this guy has his 2025, 2026, and he's planning his 2027 right now. Locked in. Like he knows where he's going to be. And, this is a cool story because, when I first talked to him, I was like, man, like I kind of just want to live a life where I can, come and go as I please. And he's like, well, what if you could just choose what you're coming and going and pleasing to do all the time? And I was like, whoa, never thought about it that way. So you can craft whatever life you want, but plan it. Yeah. If you don't plan it, it's not going to happen. It's like, wow, that's pretty powerful. So predicting is just figuring out, and it's a muscle. You don't just skill, right? You don't just get good at it like immediately. You have to get burned. we're going to get burned. Let me plan this thing out. Let's go back to like the very first quarter for you guys. Like, yeah, we planned to do these 15 things and we did 4. Yeah. Like, oh, wow. Okay. What happened there? Yeah. I go through the process with people. It's a cool learning lesson because everyone thinks they can do more in 90 days or a year, and nobody thinks about the long term. And that's what we flip on its head. We start with the end in mind. We don't need to, knock our heads and try so hard every 90 days. Not saying don't try hard. But you don't need to cram everything into 90 days. So the ability to predict is to know, if we do these 4 quarters, we're going to end here by the end of the year. When you can predict like that and then make it happen, you have control on your business. Yeah. When you have control on your business, you have control in your life, and you're making business happen rather than business happening to you.
Oh yeah. It's that phrase that people overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they can do in 10 years, right? And I think with the cool thing about setting up a structure with something like EOS and having like-minded people around you, people that are pushing you, people that are striving for that massive goal or their BHAGs, right? Big, hairy, audacious goals, is that you see that these things are possible.
Yeah.
With the proper planning, the proper structure, people following the processes, everybody rowing in the same direction. And for us, that's what the massive breakthrough was seeing it with other people, implementing it. And then, like you said, maybe not the first quarter, maybe not the second quarter, maybe not even the third quarter, but eventually we all get on the same page. We all start understanding it, and then it clicks. It's like, okay, wow. So you're saying if we all do this every single quarter, we're going to get this result? And it's like, yeah, it's that simple. But most people don't take the time to just line it out.
I think the big thing too with this is, and I think your superpower is you're going to make it happen. You know, a lot of people, it's like that 100K investment to get the million or whatever it is. You know, some people are like, will it work? And you're like, I'm going to make it work. I'm going to run through that wall to make it work. Now, there's, you know, a catch-22 with that. But I believe you are very methodical in your decision-making. It happens quick, which is even another superpower. So your speed of decision making and, you know, kind of saying, is this a higher probability it's going to work? Like, you make those decisions real quick.
Yeah.
But they're calculated and they're meticulous. And, you know, I've been on this journey with you for well over 2 years now, and there's not many that haven't worked out well for you. Working
out well. And I think what I get that from, and I appreciate you saying that, was from my previous journey as a poker player. I spoke about this on the last podcast with Joe Hughes, is we have to make high value decisions, what we call EV, expected value, high expected value decisions, very fast in the poker world, right? Because you're playing hundreds of hands against high level professionals. And every single time you're in a hand, you're faced with like a lot of decisions to make.
Interesting.
So you have to be able to calculate things and make sense of things with psychology, with math, with the position of the tournament you're in like microseconds, basically. So translating that to business was pretty natural, and it feels good. I don't make all the right decisions the same way that sometimes I punt it over there. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm so stupid. How did I make that decision, or that higher, or whatever it was?
It's going to happen.
But like you said, it's going to happen. It's part of the experience. And as entrepreneurs, like you said, if you have the conviction of like, I'm going to make this happen, I'm going to win, I'm going to figure it out, it's inevitable that you're going to, right? So same thing with that in that world. It's like, hey, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to win, whether it's this tournament, the next tournament a month from now. In business, like, hey, we're going to set these goals and we're going to hit them, whether it's now, 3 years from now, 10 years from now, or whatever it is. But you start to get super confident and super, start to get momentum on it. And it's like, oh my gosh, it's happening. And you gain more confidence. Your decisions get better, right?
I never considered that about the poker. That, it makes a ton of sense, because it definitely, I mean, like, I see it, and that's something I think a lot about decisions before I do things. You think with enough information and go.
Exactly.
And you have that muscle with poker, which is perfect for, like, it's a perfect translation for business.
Yeah.
So you can say, hey, all right, here's the limited information I have, go.
Make a decision. Boom.
And
you have to.
You can't, well, you don't have to.
Okay. I know.
Based on your vision, you have to.
Yeah.
Some people
don't have time to waste, right?
Some people, yeah, and some people don't have that vision, and that's okay. You know, everyone's on their own journey to create the life that they want to create, and that's what this is all about. It's about getting people what they want. You know, whether it's I want to build a $100 million company, I want to build a $5 million company, or for me, I want to do this the rest of my life because I love this. This is what I love more than anything in the world. It's just getting people what they want. And, you know, I hired someone to walk me through this. I was like, you know, I see EOS and Outgrow, and I'm like, I want to, you know, think about buying businesses. And he was like, why? I was like, just to prove to people that I can. He's like, why do you care? I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Elaborate more on that, because as entrepreneurs and business owners, and we see that shiny object, right? And we're like, oh my gosh, that would be really nice. I see that person doing this. But like you said, what this has to revolve around is you building your ideal life. Like, what do you want out of your life? And then going deeper into that. So talk a little bit about that. You're an EOS implementer. You're an outgrow advisor. You have the opportunity to build whatever business you want. But what happened there? You hired somebody for what exactly?
Yeah, so I hired, he's like the #1 EOS guy. He loves coaching. Like, he loves it. It's his passion. You can see when someone is doing something that they're put on this earth for, and you can just tell. And so I hired him because I was like, he works with a lot of private equity firms. And, I had this vision of like, let me buy up some businesses, put it all together, roll it out. And as I started walking through that with him, and he, it was a few months going back and forth. I walked a few opportunities, and after the opportunities, he's like why? Like, I really want to know why. And he had me fill out like my personal VTO. So there's
personal VTO.
Yeah, cool, really cool experience. Hey Ryan, what do you want your family to be doing in 10 years? Give me all the numbers. 3 years, 1 year, like, walk it out. I want to know what your ideal life looks like. What are you doing in 3 years? What does your schedule look like in 3 years? It's like, wow, I do this and I never did that. You know what I mean? Like, so we know we need to do these things, we just don't do them. So I hired someone to help me walk the option. He's like, Ryan, if you did this, you continue doing what you're doing, going on the trajectory, like, you're going to have more than you ever need, ever.
Yeah.
More than you ever wanted. Like, why? It's like, I don't know. I don't have a compelling enough why.
We talked about this, and I think what we came to the conclusion of is that 3-letter word, right? Ego.
Yeah.
Why else? You said you wanted to prove to other people that you can do it. You can do it.
Yeah.
But you wanted to prove to other people. Why?
It's the ego. Like, we talk about this all the time, and I talk to a lot of business owners. Ego, ultra success is on the other side of getting over your ego. When you can put your ego aside and just put it away, you can make way better decisions for who you are and what you want to accomplish. So for me, that was an ego thing that popped up. And I was like, yeah, I could do it. Like, yeah, okay, that's great. But like, what do I really want out of life? I'm 33 years old. I want to be competing in volleyball. Like, I have a great life right now. Over time, I'm going to elevate with the companies I'm working with over time. And, in the next 3 to 5 years, I want to be working with 100 million plus companies. Because I know I can do that, and I love what I do. And that'll give me the life I want to live. So, and plus I love what I do. Like, I really love what I do.
So your ego was driving you to do something that you didn't really want to do. Let's talk about how the ego prevents people from doing what they want to do. So in this case, like with entrepreneurs, maybe they say like, I don't need help, right? Or no, I got it figured out. Or no, we're doing good enough. Talk about that, because that's the ego being disguised right there, right? Yeah,
I'll chime in here, but I want to hear your perspective on this, because I love your perspective on this. But ego for me is like, you hit it on the head. I don't need help. I'm good. I got it. That's fine. And what those conversations turn into is, well, what do you want in 3 years? If me and you, and you'll hear this when I talk to business owners, if we're sitting in this table 3 years from now, what does success look like for you? We walk through those things. This just happened with a commercial roofing company the other day. We walk through these things and say, okay, this is your ideal place. This is where you are right now. What is holding you back from this? And some people won't be open and honest. And that's part of it too. Our ego is like, oh, I'm really awesome and good. And like, dude, I make mistakes. I make the wrong decisions all the time. Like, it's going to happen. I say the wrong things. It's like, we're human.
Yeah.
But if you can't admit that, it's going to be really hard for you to get what you want.
Yeah.
Because you're just shielding it away, and like, that's not, if you don't share open and honest and vulnerable, like we talked about this the other day too, being vulnerable, like, hey guys, I made the wrong decision. Like, this wasn't the right move. I'm going to own that. That's on me.
You gain more respect from doing that than trying to hide it, right?
I made a mistake. Okay. It's a superpower.
Yeah.
The best entrepreneurs don't have an ego.
But just like that skill or that muscle of being able to make better decisions as time comes along, I think being able to self-analyze and be self-aware and, like you said, be vulnerable is also a skill that has to be, or a muscle that has to be worked, right?
100%.
People choose to let their ego overcome them and just live and die by that sword forever. Like, no, I don't need help. I don't need that. But got to work that muscle, man. It's just like going to the gym. If you go to the gym, you got to work consistently.
So, and this goes to like the overall vision and what I like, if whoever watches this, what I'd love for you to do is sit down and just fill out what you want in 10 years, what you want in 3 years, what you want in 1 year, what you want in 90 days and walk through the roadmap of that. That will dictate a ton to you. Because if you have a large enough vision, these things will just immediately fall off. You've seen it personally, where you're like, I gotta be here. Like, what time? Let's go.
Yeah.
But that process will get you focused on like
the important.
Am I seriously gonna be doing this? Like, I gotta stop right now.
Yeah.
And the cost of me still doing this is a year later for me getting there. So it's the ego, and then you start to realize along the journey that the ego is in the way of getting what you want. And when that happens, and that's my role is, hey, what held us back from XYZ this quarter or this year? And some people have to really look deep and say, it was me. My favorite business owners are the ones who are like, hey, why didn't we hit this? It was me. Yeah. I'm the problem. Because you can admit that, we can solve it.
Yeah.
That's solvable.
Yeah.
You can't admit that because at the end of the day, it's on the business owner.
Yeah.
It's not anybody. You can blame anybody else.
Yeah.
It's on you.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. So it's super easy to be like, oh, well, we have the wrong person. We have this. You're the owner.
It's on you.
You're the owner.
Yeah. Now in this structure, I'm curious because on that topic, if you're running on EOS Pure, just to go super deep into it, if you have the visionary and the integrator, and the visionary sets the yearly plan and all that, and he passes it on to the integrator, who does it fall on at that point? Does it still fall on the business owner?
So this is a really cool topic within EOS, but like the visionary hires the integrator. If the integrator is the wrong person, guess comes back to your boy.
Oh man,
comes back to your boy. But that's
no slack.
Yeah, and that's that's the beauty of running a business. Like you can make whatever you want, but also
you have accountability for all of it, right?
Yeah,
you own it.
Yeah. Now, obviously, you have people on your team to help you do that, and you should drive the accountability with LMA. Which is lead plus manage equals accountability. So if you're doing the right things in leading and managing, accountability happens. But at the end of the day, if we're not hitting our goals, my favorite business owners are the ones who I'm like, I let my team down.
Yeah.
Because like that's a super noble thing to say. Get really vulnerable. But yeah, we can solve that.
Yeah.
We can't solve it if the business owner is blaming everything else. The economy.
Pointing fingers.
Yeah, I mean, you can blame it. You can blame anything.
Makes sense. You talked about how you have to get super clear on your personal VTO, right? Your personal vision of your life. So you're free to identify like, hey, what do I need to get out of my business? Or what do I need to do to get to that end goal right there? Since having a family, since being married recently, how has that changed for you? So you're super young, 33, hyper successful, family man. How's that changed in the last, let's say, how long have you been with Britt?
Let's see, 5 years.
5?
Yeah.
And how's that changed in the last 5 years?
I always had a vision of, because I was living in Baltimore years ago, and that's when I met Britt. I came back to meet her because I grew up here and I wanted to be here, and I knew that, but I was like, wow, I want to find someone that will bring me back home, and sure enough, it just hit.
Just happened.
It immediately, like I knew right away. Shout out 10th Ave Burrito. I tell the story a lot.
Belmar?
Yeah. It was our first date. And she was late, so I just want to point that out. She was late to our first date, so I just want to throw that out there. I hope Britt watches this.
Must be a venture.
Probably. She probably is. I wonder if she is. But like there is nothing in my life that's more important than my family. Like nothing, not even close.
Not even close.
No, it's the coolest thing in the world. So, I guess back to your question, like that's my priorities right now.
And that's changed how you look at your business or how you see your business. Like you said, like what my ideal life needs to look like, or what my work life needs to look like for my ideal life to fruit into that, right?
My mentor, the guy who's coaching me right now, he has this saying that he talks about all the time. He says, design your life before someone designs it for you. That's a bomb.
Yeah.
Because life goes fast, everyone. I'm 33 years old. I don't have that much longer to compete in volleyball, at the highest level. And I want to be doing that. I'm not going to ever stop playing volleyball, but there's only a certain amount of time where I can still compete at that level. And be with my family. Like the number one, the thing that I learned from my mom is the first 5 years of a kid's life are the most important.
Detrimental.
The absolute most important, because every habit, every behavior, everything they learn from you is soaked in that first 5 years. And if I'm not as present in those first 5 years, just the same thing with my trajectory. My mom spent so much time and energy with me, so much, and pushing me and pushing me and pushing me, in a healthy way, challenging me every day. Hey, Ryan, what's this? Hey, what's this? What's this? What's this? And I would learn. That's my priority.
Is being able to provide that same thing for your kids, right?
Yeah, my dad, he was working all the time. I have the luxury where, now he can be around, my kids. I can be around, a lot more. So it's exactly what I want. But in terms of designing your life, don't let your business dictate your personal life. There's a lot of people that have that, where, I think, and I'd like to hear your perspective on business being a hobby, and how it blends with personal life very, very easily. Now there's seasons, obviously there's seasons, but at some point, if that's your whole life, what else do you have outside of that? Because it's easy to do that.
Yeah. I'll say, from my perspective, like you just said, there are different seasons where you focus and prioritize different things, right? What we're taught through our mentorship at church is that there are 4 quadrants in every person's life: the spiritual, relational, financial, and physical quadrant, right? And depending on what season you are in, you might be leaning and putting more time and energy into one of those 4 quadrants. For me, for the last couple of years that I've been building a business from the ground up, a lot of that quadrant has been in the financial quadrant, where I'm prioritizing my business, right? Along with my spiritual, I prioritize my faith, right? Whereas the relationships and the physical have taken a little bit of a slack at certain periods. But like you said, it goes back to being in the right season. I think depending on how long you've been doing it and where you're at, you're going to have to naturally invest more time into one than the other. It's really hard to find the balance so early in life, especially in your young 20s as a guy. You're not worth anything in the beginning, right? You have to build yourself. You have to make a career for yourself so that you can ultimately be the provider that you want to be in your 30s and 40s for your family. So for me, that's where I've been for a minute now. It's starting to balance out more. Thank God for EOS, and thank God for the great team that we've built. I'm starting to be able to prioritize on the things I really like and love doing. For me, that is church. I love being involved in my church. I planted myself in my church, being able to serve there, being able to be part of the team and see it grow. That's been a huge blessing, man. And I see it naturally progressing, where it's like, all right, I've got this kind of set up over here to a certain point where it's giving me more time to do this thing that I love over here. And I know through this thing that I love doing over here that I'm supposed to be doing, it's naturally going to bring up the other one over here, the relational aspect, where now I get to fellowship with other people. Now I get to meet awesome dudes. I get to meet great girls. I get to meet people that I aspire to be like, pastors, things of that nature. So it's cool to see. It's like a natural progression. It's like the circle of life, just seeing it happen on in real time. And for me, I love life, man. I'm a life lover. I'm a life liver. It feels like every year gets better. Ever since I was like 14, 15 years old, it's like every year just gets better. Like I just learn more, become more wise.
So I have this conversation a lot, and you bringing this up reminds me of it. Do you think that's something that can be learned? Like your gratitude, your thriving of life, like, do you feel like it's something that people inherit from other people? Like, where does that come from? Because I talk about, there's a video of me when I was like 4 or 5 years old, because I am relentlessly positive and like optimistic. Like it's some people are like, are you like that all the time? Like, yeah, I am. And so my mom pulled this video up when I was like 5 years old, and my dad said some joke or whatever. And I was like, or some negative thing. And I was 5 years old on video saying like, come on, Dad, like everything needs to be positive. Like, I'm like, that's insane.
That is crazy.
I got to find that video and I'll send it to you.
Maybe it's you said the first 5 years of a kid's life is when it's so detrimental. Maybe your mom poured so much into you at that point.
I don't know.
The things that shape, I'll say from my point of view, because I was thinking about this yesterday. I was like, dude, why am I so hyper competitive? Why do I have to win at everything? Like, or else I don't feel good. And I look back at when I was like 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, I had the same mindset with winning. Like, I just wanted to be at the front. I wanted to lead.
But what, like, is that like a learned thing when you're young? Like, can you create that? Is that who somebody is? It's so interesting.
I think as you could gradually go into life, I think it's something, to answer your question, that you can learn. At least being grateful, right? Having gratitude, being positive. That's something that you have to tell yourself every day. And you can rewire your brain, because naturally we're all negative.
Totally.
The world is going to beat you up, right? Yep. And it's beating you up every single day. You have to train yourself and train your mind and reaffirm to yourself and be around the right people and listen to the right things and be at the right places for all that wiring in your brain to happen. So I 100% believe you can.
Totally right.
Do I think that some things are your product of your environment and that sometimes you're shaped a certain way? I think so as well.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you're going to be accountable for your whole entire life, and those decisions you make and the mindset you have and what you achieve or fail to achieve or what you do or don't do, it's going to ultimately fall on you, man. Like, you make what you will. You make what is it? Make what you want out of it.
Something like that. I believe in you.
Close enough.
I love blaming other things. That's another strong quality of great leaders, is like,
they just blame everybody else.
No, the other way around. Great leaders, it's all your fault. It's all your fault, buddy. Great leaders own it all. Like, own it. Hey, that was a me problem. I've worked with business owners who that's a detriment sometimes, where they're holding on to a relationship in the business where it's, they're giving, and they're not getting anything back. I personally would rather people be like that than the other way around.
Giving, and not getting anything back, versus, meaning
like a business owner who's like giving to employees, but they're not, like a people issue. But some people are like, oh, they'll change, and they never do. And it's a people issue, but they want to hold on to it because they care so much. That's a hard one. People issues are complicated. And I feel like another asset with the core values thing is knowing that you can't train those things. You can't train someone to have integrity. You can't train someone to be honest.
They're just core values that are ingrained in them. And
it's a big missing piece of a lot of these hard people issues, because like, it's emotional. Like, it is truly emotional, and it's very hard. And trying to pull the emotion out of it is extremely difficult without some help. And that's, core values are your way to do that. Somebody could be the best salesperson, best operations person in the world, but if they don't have the values, they're gonna fall out.
Yeah.
And they're gonna stab you in the back one day. I just think I think there's a lot of missing pieces there that business owners should reflect on and think about who your best employees are and how do we get more of them.
Yeah.
And what are they like?
On that topic, because you're saying, like, you could have somebody that's super skilled and really good at what they do, right? But if they don't fit the core values you have and the culture that you have a person in the wrong place, right? Yeah. It's because what we talk about all the time is most business problems are people problems, right? Maybe you have a guy that's really good at what he does, but he doesn't fit the culture, so he kind of like starts to be like a cancer for it. So it's
this is another good opportunity cost one, where, there's certain things in the business that change the trajectory, and it's people that are at the foundation. Hiring decisions cost so much money. And you know this. I mean, getting the wrong person in a seat, you keep them for 6 months, and that's fast for most business owners. So if you hire someone, you keep them for six to 12 months, and you're like, they're okay. You don't make that decision, and then finally something snaps, and then you make the decision to either let them go or whatever. Now, it doesn't mean they're a bad person. They just don't fit your values. Or if they're not doing the job, then that's a whole different discussion. But had you have gotten the right person from day one, how much more revenue would you then be able to generate with the right person? And then how much more time did you just save? Yeah. 12 months. Sometimes it's way more than that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we talk about this all the time, and that's why I think you're lightening your decision-making skills and your ability to wade through the emotions is a superpower. Because a lot of people will just be like, it's just not worth it. It's not worth letting that person go. They're okay. Yet there's somebody, you're taking the spot of someone who's great, that wants to work at your company.
And that fits your company.
And that would probably make your life a lot easier.
Yeah.
Now, then people are like, well, what are the things I need to be doing to find that person? Different story. We can control that.
Yeah.
How many resumes we get, we can control everything. We can
figure that out, right?
But the opportunity cost of getting the wrong person is substantial. And especially, as the journey you guys go on, it's, you have 50, 75, 100 employees. It adds up. Oh, yeah. It adds up quick.
Yeah.
So I think, if you're a business owner out there, just think about the people you have. And if you would rehire them again, great. If you wouldn't, I would urge you to make a change. Get clear on some stuff first, your values and all those things. But long term, if they're not working today, they're not going to work tomorrow. They're not going to work in a year.
I love that.
Do some internal work first, figure out what the team needs, and then make that decision. But
so of all that, what's the main piece of advice you want to give to the smaller business owner? Let's say he's doing under $3 million. What can they get super clear on? What can they implement to prevent these frustrations from happening down the line?
Starting with reading the book. So read Traction. And I'm someone who, there's other books out there that are operating systems. Go read those too. EOS might not be for you, but go implement an operating system in your business. There's EOS, there's Scaling Up, there's all these other different types of things. Go pick one and run with it. Whichever one, right? Just please do it. Because without having a system, you're running by the seat of your pants. Whether or not you got it or not, you will get there so much faster. You will get to a place you never thought you'd get so much faster by having a system.
Having a system that you actually follow, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's that would be number one. So go start reading the books. If you've already read the books, now I'm going to push you. Go do it. Implement it. If you've read all the books, you've done all the research, we talk about this all the time. Knowing things is not going to make you any money.
Overload of information, lack of implementation.
Mic drop. Drop the mic.
Let's just end it right there.
We're done here. Shut it down. But yeah, doing. Knowing doesn't make you any money. Doing makes you money.
100%.
And feeds your family. So go feed your family, please. Please.
So a lot of business, a lot of family talk. If one thing I want to ask to almost close this off, Ryan, is that if you could be remembered for one thing, what would it be? Because we're just getting started, right? And we're building something massive, right? You're a visionary, I'm a visionary. We really are just getting warmed up.
Yeah.
What are you trying to do here, man? What are you trying to be remembered for?
I think it's that I want people to come to me so that they can live the life they want to live. Anyone on this that watches this, please reach out. I want to help you. There's life is so short, and the time we get to spend doing the things we want, there's so many people that do things that they don't want to do. You don't have to. You can find people on your team to help you do that. And then you have a team of people that like to do what they do. They love coming to work. What is better than that? there's just so much opportunity out there. And like, you know, when I hear people that are like, I'm struggling to pay my bills, it kills me. Like it kills me. It doesn't need to be like that. Like, there's, you know, actually, I think a good topic, obviously you're trying to close this out, but there's one more that I think I'd like to hear from you on. Do you think everyone, now obviously there's scales of, you know, business owners. Do you think that anyone can be a business owner? Say you start your own little Etsy shop versus your $100 million company. Do you think anyone can be a business owner?
Hope I don't give the wrong answer here.
I don't know if there is a right answer. I don't know. I'm just curious because I don't know.
I think anybody can be a business owner if they want to be one bad enough. If their why is deep enough, right? They'll make it happen. Whether it's a small, maybe it'll be a small business, right? But the reality is that it's not cut out for everyone. So I don't know if I contradict myself, but
no,
it's not cut out for everybody. Maybe people need to see it and need to experience it for them to realize, oh crap, like I don't really want this that bad, or maybe they're not aligned on what they really want to get out of it. They just like the idea of it, right? But if I were to say that a yes or no, I don't think it's for everyone.
Yeah.
I don't think it's for everyone.
I don't think so either. It's no joke.
Yeah.
It's definitely no joke.
I mean, you go into it with the perception of what it's supposed to be like and what you're supposed to gain out of it. And then you realize that it's a lot harder, like way, way harder than I expected it to be. And you actually get a lot less, at least in the beginning.
Yeah.
The return is it's not easy, man.
No, it's just, the reason I bring that up is like, do you think, and kind of tie into that why, do you think that people can manufacture a big enough why?
Can they manufacture a big enough why?
Can I convince someone of their why?
No.
You think it's internal and it can't be changed?
Yeah.
Man, I can go on this one for a while too.
But maybe there are circumstances that will happen throughout your life that will give you a bigger why. Like
if you meet somebody and they have a why and you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Do you think that translates?
Well, think about it. Like if a person's why might be smaller and then they get married and have kids and then their why is like their kids.
Yeah.
Now they just kind of created their why. It's like I have to make things happen for my family. Right?
Yeah.
But just naturally, like I think things have to happen. Circumstances have to happen. There has to be events that come up that maybe build up on your why or give you a completely new why. It's
interesting.
For most people, business owners, it's because Colonel Sanders didn't start KFC till he was like
60s something?
60s. So like, how does that happen?
I don't know. Like, was he just one day like, all right, it's time. Now? All right. That's pretty baller.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
It's a good question. It's a challenging question. What do you think?
I think you can. I really think you can. Because think about, I don't know, whys definitely change. But if you're around a bunch of people who are say you're around 7 business owners and you're not a business owner and you're the 8th, and it's very similar to like what I experienced with CBA, and I'm like, you just kind of sit around that for long enough. I feel like it pulls you to it. Could just be a me thing, but I feel like if you hang around a bunch of business owners and you're not, I feel like you'd probably take a stab at it versus if you weren't around those people. I don't know. I'm going to think about this one.
and being around them, that'll, I guess, create the why. They'll see how the other business owners are, or see.
I think it's maybe a belief system, like an internal belief system of like, oh no, that's not for me. I can't do that. And then they see people do it, and then maybe their minds are exposed to like, maybe I can do it. I don't know. It's me and what I do. I think anyone can try it.
Well, your skill and what you get paid to do is kind of unlock people's potential, right, and show them what's possible.
Yeah.
Do you have 100% success rate doing that with everybody?
No. So yeah, true.
So why is that? Is it because of you, or is it really because of them and their own limiting beliefs and the fact that they don't think they can do it? And like, how do you build on that for somebody that's like there's no way, it's not possible? Like, when I think about this, it's number one, they want help. Like if somebody doesn't really want help, I can't help them. So I now screen for that.
Like, and I'll ask it multiple times before working with a business owner, do you want my help? And some people will give me a deflection answer, and I'm like, this is not for you then. Because if you don't want my help, you're not gonna go in with an open mind, which is another one. If you have an open mind, you're growth oriented, you want help, you're vulnerable. I'm looking for those things. The psychographic thing. Like, I'm looking for those things. If somebody doesn't have those things, I can't help you. I think me being early in this, I'm like, I can help everyone. You can't. You can't. So I don't know.
Switching your opinion?
I don't know. Now I'm like, I think over the long term,
you can't help people who don't want to be helped, right? Or can you?
I've tossed this in my head for years. My natural inclination is I'm going to try. I'm going to try to help you. And it's up to the person to take it and run with it, but I'm going to try.
You can take the horse to the water, but you can't make it drink.
I'm still going to try. I can't, I would
trying by taking it to the water.
When you talk about like what I want to be known for, I don't want to be known for the person that didn't try to help someone like that. I don't care if it hurts me, or I don't even care. It doesn't matter. What matters is they tried. So they checked it off their box. Like, I did what I could to help that person.
Yeah.
And maybe they're like, not for me now. But they had that experience, so they learned something. Whether it was for them or not for them, 2 years can go by and they're like, hey, I'm ready now. Mentally, personally, emotionally, like, okay.
It's like it didn't fruit back then, but it could fruit now because you planted a seed and that fruit sprouted, right?
But if I never tried, that never would happen. And that person would never get to the point where they're like, okay, like, I want to make a change in my business. I want to change my life. Okay.
Makes sense.
We can work with that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to think about this one.
And that effort can contribute. Maybe you don't see the result of it, but somebody else down the line will see that, and something will have fruited from you trying to help.
I think that's the one thing I want to be known for is just, I don't want to be the person that never tried to help somebody. There's so many people out there that need all of our help. And, especially nowadays with AI, it's coming back to human beings. It's coming back to personal relationships. I don't know what we're going to be able to trust anymore. I don't know what your perspective is on this, but I think it's going to come back to more personal relationships versus a video that was fake created online where I'm like, I don't even know. How do I trust? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. So we'll see.
Yeah, we will see. I love that though. Wanting to help people. You're an awesome. You specialize. You're a captain, right? We did the predictive index right before we close off.
Wild tool, by the way. Getting into that.
Yeah, it's freaking awesome. But to see it in real life with somebody that we know, it's inspiring. Yeah. And for me, I think on that topic, what I want to be known as is somebody that inspires people. You want to help people. I want to inspire. They're probably neighbors, inspiration 100%. And help.
100%.
But just being able to tell people or show people that, like, hey, things are possible. Just do what you got to do. Put in the actions. You can achieve your dreams. You can achieve your goals. That's what I want to be remembered for, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we're starting it right now. Here we are. Because that resonates with me. That's literally what the captain thing is. Like, I love this.
Lead people, right?
This is what I love to do more than anything in the world.
Hell yeah, brother.
Let's go.
Ryan, how can people find you? How can they get in contact with you? How can they reach out for some help? You mentioned that you're willing to help anybody.
100%. Shoot me. So on my Instagram, R Charterina. Go on our website, peakformadvisor.nj.com, and then fill out a form. I'd be happy to help you any way I can. And I have a large network of people too. So if it's not something I can help you with, there's ways to get help. Just don't go it alone. It's not fun. It's not worth it. You're not going to get the most out of it. Find someone you like hanging out with and, hey man, let's go do this. So anyway, shoot me a message, shoot me an email, ryan.charterina@eosworldwide.com, and let me know.
Let's go. Let's rock and roll, man.
Let's go.
Keep it rolling, Ryan. Appreciate this. Appreciate you coming on. Nice conversation. Let's go attack the day and win it, man.
Let's go.
Awesome. Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, buddy.
That's it.
I love this. Nailed it.
Podcast out.